Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cantina Social Hour. Happy Friday. Hope everybody is doing fabulously well. And this is our second stream of the month. So hope everybody's doing well. Thank you guys for tuning in with us this evening. Thank you for being here. Always appreciate you guys hanging out with me on Friday nights. What better way to end your week and kick off your weekend than with Toy Talk, right? Star Wars Toy Talk in particular for this evening, plus a few other topics. Good to see everybody who's hanging out with us this evening. So I want to go through the room and see who is with us. We got Paul in the house. Paul, how's it going? Good to see you, Paul, as always. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Q Mighty, how are you doing? Adam, how's it going, Adam? Good to see you this evening. Hope things are going very well. Jacob, how are you doing, Jacob? Good to see you, too. We got Pico B1 in the house. Pico B1, how are you doing? Happy Friday to you as well. Hope things are good. Kevin, how's it going? I already had my drink, falling asleep on the couch one of those weeks. Well, hopefully you'll be able to make it through our stream. And hopefully we don't put you to sleep. And if I do, then I guess you can rewatch later on. Mary, how's it going, Mary? Good to see you, my friend. Happy Life Day to you, too. It is indeed that day, Life Day. So I guess this is our Life Day stream, technically. Very cool. Very cool. Who else is in here with us this evening? Kayla, how's it going, Kayla? Good to see you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Had a great time hanging out with you a couple weeks back here on Social Hour. So Cake Score 76, how are you doing? Good to see you. And who's this guy? I know this guy. I know this guy here. Hey, Evan, how's it going? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Very cool, my friends. So happy Friday once again. Happy Life Day. And yeah, we got a fun little stream for you this evening. We're going to be talking a little variety of topics, primarily Star Wars focused, but we're going to divert just a little bit, maybe get into a little Jurassic Park discussion. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on the Haslab Ghostbusters. We're going to see how that's doing. We're going to look at the latest announcements for Hot Toys Star Wars. We're going to talk about the Vintage Collection. We're going to talk about the Last Figure Standing initiative that is going on. Yeah, we'll talk about a couple other things that are going on. So, all right, new acquisitions, things like that. You guys know the drill, the usual stuff. So, all right, get ready. All right, so this evening, I am joined by a friend from SWTVC on Instagram, SWTVC podcast. And it's been a minute since I've had him on Cantina Social Hour, but he is joining us this fine Friday evening, Life Day. Please welcome John, the Vintage Concepts. John, how's it going?
Hello, good. How are you?
Doing good.
Thanks for having me on. Here's Chewie as well, of course. Got to have him in
nice.
his red robe. Figure of the decade, in my opinion.
Figure of the century, yeah. Nice. Yeah, no, good to see you. And I feel like we just did this because we did just do this last night. We were talking last night. On the Vintage Collection podcast, we recorded an episode, you and Tyler from SWTVC as well. So that episode, if all goes as planned, should be coming up on Monday. So I'll be publishing that on Monday. But yeah, no, that was a great chat, and we're talking a little Revenge of the Sith, aren't we?
Oh yeah, getting a little ahead of the anniversary, but yeah, it was fun to go through it and talk about some of our wants. Some a little more realistic. Some. Tyler wants some giant items that we'll see what happens, but
we'll
they're all good. They're all good ideas. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Excellent stuff. Very cool. So it's great to see you. What's been going on lately on your end with SWTVC and with your Vintage Concepts?
Well, we've shared a lot of Life Day stuff, maybe a little more than everybody is really excited about, but I'm excited about it. I love Life Day. I love the holiday special. It's such a time capsule. It really dates, the origins of Star Wars to the late 70s and, just such a fun, weird glimpse at how the world was back then. Yeah, shared some ideas for other Chewbacca updates the other day. Shared some of my last year's holiday special cards. We reposted those yesterday. And then over on my page on Instagram at the Vintage Concepts, as you can see in my little name pill right here, my Kenner style name pill. Shared a bunch of Ahsoka series concepts. Still working on one more, but I haven't quite finished it up yet. So yeah, it's been fun to dive back into those. So yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Sounds great. Cool. Well, we're going to talk some toys. We're going to talk some Star Wars. We're going to talk some toy news. First, I wanted to give everybody a little bit of an update here on RC V8. Notice that the name changed for you guys that were here in previous weeks. It was R3 V8, but guess what? He got a new head. He got a new head, so now he's a C series / R series. So he's RC V8, and I think I think last time we did this, I hadn't yet published my Droid Depot video where I was mixing and matching parts. I did that last week, and I kept going beyond that video. So I probably no surprise I kept tweaking him. So here he is right here in all of his gorgeousness. I got to say that I'm very pleased with how this guy is looking so far. He's looking very handsome, I might say. And he totally goes with my car now. He fits it a lot better. So yeah, he looks good. So if you're wondering about the way he sounded last time, so he did have a chip. He did have a personality chip in there. And he still has that personality chip, but I think when I switched the dome, I think that kind of crossed some wires. So I think he's going to have a new personality chip. So he can't talk a whole lot yet, or if he does, it's in his old voice. But he is definitely happy to be here, aren't you? Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, I know. But look over the cameras over there. He's definitely feeling. He's happy to be here tonight. So yeah, I know you like your new head too. I do too. I love it. So that's RC V8. And if you're wondering what happened to the other head, don't worry. The other head's okay. He didn't get decapitated, and he just got reprogrammed a little bit. In fact, the other head is now on another R unit. So that's actually going to become a Victoria's Cantina inspired droid, if that makes sense. It's going to have like the colors and like the teal and the pink and all that. So working on that, I'll reveal him when he is finished with his new name and his new body. But for all intents and purposes, this is the same guy. I don't know. It gets confusing for me. But yeah, so that's RC V8. And yeah, little co-host in addition to John here this evening.
I want to hear more from RC, yeah, rather than me, but yeah, looks awesome. I still haven't I love Galaxy's Edge. I haven't made a droid there myself yet, but it's like a fun experience doing it in there. I made a lot of the droid figures over the years in the parts bins in the parks when they used to have those, but haven't done the big remote control versions yet.
Yeah, it's cool. I just did it for the first time last month, and I loved it. I thought it was, I mean, I should have done it sooner. After I did, I'm like, why did I wait so long to do this? But like when I got in there and I like I had my sister and my niece, and they were like kind of like helping me select parts and stuff. And I was like, why didn't I do this sooner? This is actually a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely worth it.
Nice.
All right, cool. So we're going to jump over to looking at the Haslab. I know I've been updating this each week. Obviously, it did fun. Last time we were on, not only did it fun, but the first tier was unlocked. And now we're going to take a look and see where it stands as of now. So I'm going to pull that screen up, see how that is doing. All right, so it's currently at 14,433 backers out of 10,000 being the initial goal. Of course, it surpassed that weeks ago. The first stretch goal was hit weeks ago. And currently, it looks like we are on our way. We are on our way to, have we gotten the second stretch goal yet? Hard to tell. This isn't the easiest Haslab to follow.
Through these different things. Yeah, so tier 1 is unlocked at 12,000. It was the supernatural startup unlock.
Yes, the patch and stickers and cards. So next one's 15,000.
Supernatural startup unlock sounds a little more fancy than what it actually is, but it's still cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. It's a little too fancy for what it is. Yeah. So we're still not to the ghost trap receptacle yet. So that is coming up at 15. And being that we are at 14,433, I'm totally confident we're going to hit that. Probably will hit the last one too. and get all the unlocks. And I hope it does it sooner rather than later so that they can maybe offer another stretch goal. That's not just a few stickers and cards and a patch that I'm never going to use. But either way, it's good stuff. It's funded. I can't wait. I'm stoked.
Yeah.
This with the proton pack from before and the neutrino wand. I'm going to be able to. All I need is the jumpsuit really, and then I'll be set for next Halloween.
That's the next Haslab, I'm sure. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the Haslabs, they get so many right at the beginning, and then so many right at the end. But there's that middle area which doesn't gain a whole lot of backers, and it's hard to get the momentum up. But yeah, I'm glad it's successful so far. It seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a pretty quick update. Not a whole lot else to add to that. It's doing well. I'm glad to see it. But yeah, it's still chugging along. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit of toy news. So this week, or last week rather, we finally got to see some new Hot Toys for Star Wars. And I've been really excited about the Ahsoka series and the Ahsoka Hot Toys that they've been pumping out and putting up for order. And it's cool that they're still continuing with some new releases. So initially it was Sabine Wren, then they continued with Chopper, then Harrison Dula, then Grand Admiral Thrawn, and finally they've given us a couple more. Which I say finally, but it hadn't been that long. So now we have Morok being added to the list. So, yeah, I know. My thoughts exactly.
He's afraid of Merrick.
Morok, however. What is the right way to even say it?
Well, yeah, I don't even know. There's Antok Merrick, the pilot from Rogue One. There's Morak, the planet from Mando, and this guy's somewhere in between.
Something in between, right? Yeah, it's yeah. I probably spelled it wrong on my little banner here, but yeah, I did. It's Merok, I guess. So I know I said previously that I would pre-order any Ahsoka Hot Toys that they put out there, but this one I haven't been able to pull the trigger yet. Not that the figure looks bad by any means. It doesn't. It looks awesome, just like any other Hot Toys Star Wars as of late. But I don't know. I feel like this character kind of was just. I mean, he was cool while he was alive, I suppose. But then when he was revealed to just kind of be air, it was, I don't know, he didn't really go anywhere. He was cool for a little while, but then he just didn't go anywhere as a character. So this is the first one that I've hesitated on. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I might not, I don't know. But yeah.
Just got the retro one. It's a little bit cheaper than this, but
yeah. I mean, it looks great. Don't get me wrong. It really does look great. I mean, he looks fantastic, but it's just, I don't know. If this were Shin Hati or, Balin Skull, then yeah, totally. I would have already ordered it. But, this being Marok, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna, I don't know. As of right now, I'm gonna wait. But yeah, it looks cool. He looks cool.
He's part of the grand tradition of awesome looking Star Wars villains that don't really do anything on screen, and then fans have wild theories about who it actually is, and then it's nobody. It's just some guy that needs to fight Ahsoka a couple times. But yeah,
he was just like a blow up Inquisitor with a lightsaber.
They should do like a bot bag version of Merrick. It's full of hot air. Yeah,
you have to blow it up yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean he looks great. It's just I don't know. It, again, maybe I'll change my tune and I'll decide to pull the trigger, but in light of all the other ones that they've announced, and I'm sure there's more to come, I think, I'm gonna have to wait a little bit on this guy. But I don't know. What do you guys think of Merrick? Mary, I see you're saying that you're passing on him as well. Yeah, I wonder if you feel similarly as far as I'm feeling about it. Just, I don't know. It looks cool, but it's just for me, he didn't really go anywhere in the series. So
still want him in TVC. They got him in the other Hasbro lines, but not that one. But maybe we'll get a prequel series finding out his whole Inquisitor backstory or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
we got options.
Yeah, we got options. And it's interesting because if you jump over to Hot Toys' bestsellers list, as of late, like he's not even though he's been out for over a week for pre-order, he's not even like one of the top figures. Like right now it shows Thrawn, and then it has the child, or I don't know why they're still calling him the child. I guess it's an older figure. Bo-Katan, Hera, and then Marok is there at the number 5. So, curious, but it doesn't sound like many people are like, yeah, Marok, that's the one. It's people are just kind of, yeah. Marok is what he should be called.
Marok, yeah.
Marok. Yeah, Marok.
Yeah, I still haven't. Yeah, see, so he'll come out. We'll have a whole series of the book of
Marok.
The book of Marok. Yeah, I don't know.
What would it be
the magazine?
called?
The magazine of Marok.
The magazine.
It's not quite as much of a story there, but
yeah, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, that's Marok. I don't want to spend too much time talking about Marok. Yeah, Jason. Hi, Jason. How's it going? Yeah, probably is just. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's in it. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, that's enough of Marok. Let's go ahead, and there's actually something a lot more exciting than Marok that was actually put up for pre-order today. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that instead. And this is infinitely better than Marok. So this one here is one that everybody's been waiting for. So they're doing Ahsoka from Ahsoka the White from the Ahsoka series. And they did previously the Mandalorian Ahsoka, and she was great. I like her quite a bit, but this looks better. It looks like they've made improvements in the face. Not that face necessarily, but she comes with 2 faces, so you can kind of switch her up. There you go. That's better.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome there.
Yeah, she looks good. I'm really excited about this one. Yeah, so it's like, so now it's Ahsoka, and basically I guess we need Shin Hati, we need Baylan Skoll, and then Morgan Elsbeth. I think if they did those 3, I would definitely pre-order those. But like, yeah.
And you've pre-ordered all the other ones so far, you were saying?
Just not Marok. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the only one that I'm holding off on. But yeah, the other ones.
Yeah, because I saw she's not shipping it for another. I mean, Hot Toys has put their stuff up super early for pre-order, and she's not shipping till like a year from now, a year and a half or whatever. Is that the same for? Yeah, is that the same for all of them, or is like Sabine coming sooner than that?
That's a good question. I think Sabine starts because I do these on payment plans all the time. Okay. I think Sabine was coming a little bit sooner. Like Marok says October to March next year. No, October to March 2025. I don't even want to think that far ahead. But as far as Sabine goes, she says she is coming July 2024 to December 2024.
Okay.
As far as Ahsoka goes, she is coming purportedly October 2024 to March 2025. So same as Marok. Yeah. So it's going to be a while, but I don't mind that, especially in light of how many things are processing lately.
Yeah.
Take your time. I'd rather Hot Toys take their time and get things right, especially at this price point, than them rush anything. So,
because I know sometimes they'll put stuff up a lot sooner than like Hasbro or other collector companies will, and then it's like, well, yeah, but it's still a year, up to a year and a half away.
Right. Right. Yeah, she looks really cool. Tailoring looks great. I love that she has the 2 head sculpts. It's nice. The base looks pretty cool. It's kind of got that, I don't even know what you call it, that Night Sister thing, for lack of a better word.
From Peridia, yeah.
Yeah. The figure
looks
cool. Figure looks cool. And I think she's got the movable eye system, I want to say. So that'll be nice. That'll be nice. This was definitely a cool one for them to announce. So
Yeah.
Welcome news. Definitely welcome news. And
I still haven't gotten any hot toys. Evan says if they made Hu Yang, would I buy them? Yeah, I might have to think about it actually. But yeah, we need that.
I hope you can't do that. Just I don't know. That kind of took me aback a little bit.
I'm seeing something I shouldn't be right now.
Hu Yang would be cool. I would get Hu Yang if they did him.
Not to be a scale trader for all the TVC only folks, but had to get Hu Yang. You got to get Hu Yang. Every Hu Yang possible.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Hu Yang's cool. Hu Yang's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Ahsoka, and she looks fabulous. And I did pre-order today. I saw that she had gone up, I guess, overnight or late last night, and then this morning I saw it. Then she went up by like lunchtime, so I pre-ordered her on my lunch break, and I am happy, very happy.
Yeah, she looks awesome.
She does.
One day Hasbro will make them, but we'll see.
We'll see. Maybe they will. Probably they will. It might just be a little bit of a wait. So I see that.
It's just me. Hello. I'm all alone. I'm in the void. I'm in the world between worlds.
Again,
Welcome
I
back.
hate going to the world between worlds. I mean, only if Anakin's there, then fine, I'll take it 100%. Anytime. But if it's just me, no thanks.
Yeah, a little scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. So I saw that Mary also pre-ordered Ahsoka. Awesome, Mary. I'm glad that you got her too. That's possible, Adam. Marok could be discounted in 2 years. I mean, I know the quantities that they're producing these are in the last couple of years has been less than it used to be. So it's like kind of random things will sell out. So I mean, who knows? But yeah, I mean, given that it's not selling a whole lot, they're probably not going to make a ton of them, and probably it might sit for a bit. So yeah, maybe it's one of those things that you use your Sideshow rewards on, or you use your coupon or something. But yeah. Apparently you're fired, John. Just so you know.
I'm fired. That's all right. Saves me a lot of time actually, but thanks a lot, Evan. You got to get every Hu Yang. Come on.
You really have to. I mean, it's Hu Yang, right?
Yeah, I've been waiting. I was waiting for him from the Clone Wars, 10, 12 years ago. Whoever thought he was going to be the star of one of the stars of a live action show years later. That's just, whoever thought that a dozen years later.
Yeah, so let's talk new acquisitions. I know we were talking a little earlier about something that we've both added to the collections this week. Mm-hmm. Do you want to show us what that is?
Yes, it's a little teaser there. Let me try and get it on mic, but look at that. Dr. Wu and Mr. DNA in one beautiful set right there, and they talk.
It's really not that difficult. A DNA strand like me is a blueprint for building a living thing.
There's a lot of phrases. I won't go through all the phrases right now, but it seems like it'll be one Dr. Wu phrase and then one Mr. DNA phrase.
Nice.
Yeah, I love this. We were waiting for this. Is the first Dr. Wu in 3 3/4. All right, they didn't do him in Legacy Collection or anything.
No, it's the first one, and I was watching a review by my friend Chris from Jurassic Outpost, who did a review on this set. Great video if anybody wants to check it out. And yeah, he was kind of going over the history of the character and his appearances in the movies, and it's a character that goes all the way back to 1993, the original film, 30 years ago. And he's barely getting an action figure. Kenner didn't do it back in the day, and Hasbro didn't do it. And now we have it finally from Mattel, even though this line started in 2018, 5 years. I can't believe the line's been going that long. But it is, it's the very first Doctor Who action figure that's ever been released.
Wow, pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it comes in this nice little shipper that was inside a bigger box. I ordered 2 of these because when it's like special stuff, I like to keep one boxed, which I don't usually do unless it's the vintage collection. But for stuff like this, I make an exception because it's like Jurassic Park. So I haven't opened it yet, but cool. This is what the outer. So it's the package, the shipping box, and it's the sleeve, right? The shipper case, I guess. And then this, and then on the inside there's another box. So plastic-free packaging times 4.
Total cardboard packaging, ultimate cardboard. But yeah, I love some of the sets they've had. Like they had the Nedry and the shaving cream can a few years ago. They've had Ray Arnold with from the scene you never saw where he gets his arm ripped off.
Yep.
It's the present, and the Ian Malcolm. It was the book. I think that was last year's or 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they
Created
had the John Hammond in the Jurassic Park gates.
Yeah.
And they had the really big one at Comic-Con last year for the with the T-Rex and
right.
Donald Gennaro on the toilet, like
the blood-sucking lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah, because so what else? What other humans do they need to do in Hammond? I mean, other than they pretty well covered the first movie.
Yeah, the first film is pretty much covered. I mean, if one thing I would like to see them do from the first movie is just like some generic like park workers in like the pink shirt, the ones that would drive like the Wranglers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to see some of those, but I mean, other than that, I mean, they've covered pretty much like anything you would expect. I mean, it would just be like tertiary characters, like the guy that's like digging at the beginning of the movie, or the guy that flies the helicopter, or just like random like things like that. But they've pretty much done everything. Lost Worlds, even they're doing the Lost World. Like they just announced the Dieter Stark like figure. So like that's coming, and
because that's like legacy. That's legacy collection, I think, right? Because they're compatible lines, in my opinion. They're maybe not quite up to like vintage collection quality. But but it is nice to have, now that Star Wars has the 5 POA line coming back. It would. I prefer the way Jurassic does it, just in terms of there's a collector line, but there's also a compatible kid line or casual collector line or whatever that you can still display them together without one of them looking totally out of place. But yeah,
right.
Dieter Stark, we still need Vince Vaughn's character, absolutely.
Yeah, Nick Van Owen, we do need him.
He needs a talking exclusive that goes, Sarah Harding. We really need that in our collections.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll get around to that one. Gosh, Eddie Carr, I guess, is another one they could do.
Because they could do.
Yeah, they could do Malcolm's daughter. Like they could do Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Like that'd be.
She needs to spin on the gymnast bar. Come on.
I know, right? Wind up action.
Yeah.
They could do. They haven't really touched Jurassic Park 3. They did. Dr. Grant, but they haven't done like any of the other characters. I don't know if they will, honestly, but.
I don't know if I need William H. Macy and Téa Leoni. I'm always, we'll see about that, but.
Yeah. And they've covered like Jurassic World fairly well too. At least like they did Dominion very well. They did Fallen Kingdom. I guess they could go back to the first Jurassic World and do a little bit more, but
because now Hammond is doing Owen and Blue, at least in the Hammond line.
They look good.
Maybe they'll be cool to see Claire in that line.
Yeah, they definitely need to do one of her too. They never got around to her in the Amber collection, which was kind of unfortunate. They did pretty much everybody else. So yeah, they need to do a Hammond collection, Claire for sure.
I still need to open, but I got the Steven Spielberg set a few months ago, which is really awesome. It's like the clapboard from the behind the scenes.
It is cool.
Love the shirt they printed up for him. It's pretty awesome stuff. So yeah, it's
a really nice one. So no, it's a neat set. I haven't opened it yet fully, but I will get around to doing that, and I will throw them on the shelf with the others. The only gripe I have about that set, and I know I've talked about it before, is that it doesn't have like a proper like incubator. It's just like a little. It looks nothing like the one from the movie.
There's like a lot of cardboard stuff, which is like it makes for a cool set, but maybe not like a great representation of that scene.
Right, exactly. All right. So other than that set, John, what else have you added to your collection this week? Any other?
Well, today we were just talking last night on the show, so it's already outdated that I said Entertainment Earth had shipped my Revan Wave, and then it arrived today.
Nice.
And we got a live unboxing, just what everybody wants to see. But
how special do we feel?
Cardboard. Yeah. We got my boy. Look at that. Oh, beautiful chopper. Wow.
Wow.
Good cards. Someone, yeah. I'll spare everybody me staring at the white bubble crud on these figures, but Darth Revan himself or herself, depending on
Nice.
how you play the game. Love the new back of the cards with the pop of color that they used to
Yeah.
have back in TVC 1.0. Sorry if I'm too quiet on the mic. Let's see, I think we got Hera. Yeah, she looks awesome. I love the purple on this card.
Yeah, it's pretty.
She looks great. Sculpt looks great. I thought, yeah. 2 of hers, 1 opener, 1 to keep carded. Thank God. Got Pre Vizsla. Look at that guy. Nice. Love the recent Mandalorian figures. All of these are actually a really nice condition. I'm surprised. That's really nice to see.
That's awesome.
I think sometimes when the case gets too jostled together, opener of this guy. Another Jon Favreau voice action figure, and then of course director Krennic.
Nice.
Love that. I know some people aren't thrilled with the cape, but it's a unique design. I think it looks as good as they're going to get it, you know. And then last but also kind of least, the R5D4 repack.
Oh, cool! I forgot he was in that wave.
Yeah, that's how he sneaks into the Imperial facility. Everybody just forgets about him. Number 303. Oh yeah, Hera's 300, and he does have the red panels on the back. Thank God. That's something very small and very nitpicky, but that is a detail I'm very glad, because in A New Hope, you know, when he goes off with Luke, when he blows his gasket, you can see those 3 red panels on the back, and they've never done that properly, or at least they didn't do it in the last TVC release. Yeah, so it's nice that they. And then people caught it and they said, "Wait a minute, we're not going to buy him again if it still doesn't have the right details." So I'm glad they finally did. And he had so many great moments in season 3 where he was, you know, in the Imperial base and afraid of the mouse droids and stuff.
Yeah.
So now we need a mouse droid pack.
Yeah, you know, for sure.
So,
that's actually one of the ones you can build at Droid Depot if you can build R5D4, but not 100%. You still gotta go back and like customize him a little bit to get there where he needs to be. But yeah, no, it's cool. I just love that they're like R5D4 is so expanded in the Mandalorian. That's so fun.
Yeah. I know they said before, it's like, you know, some of the side action figures that maybe your older sibling didn't want to play with or whatever. So you get Boba Fett has to hang out with Yoda, and you know, here's R5D4, and here's you know, IG88, and now they're all friends or something. It's like, okay, tweak the story a little bit, but yeah, same vibes for R5D4. And yeah, VC 300 Hera. Can't believe there's been 300 in the line already. So
I know,
because even when it came back in 2018, they were on like 116, 117. So even in the last few years, it's been so many, but it's awesome. And has your wave arrived yet? Did you order it from Entertainment Earth also?
I did. I checked it last night. It wasn't even processing at the time, so I don't know if.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I never know with Entertainment Earth anymore. Like I was telling you last night, I still haven't. My Cad Bane wave hasn't even like shipped after all this time. So
that's so frustrating because they processed it, so they took payment like a month ago for it.
Yeah.
And then and normally they don't take that long. Like sometimes it can take a week or 2 or whatever, and that's, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and you can go on the site and I think you can buy it, which is weird. Like you can go on and buy it. Say maybe I should just cancel it and I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But
because I ended up ordering 2 of each, from one to open, one to keep carded, from Pulse. They arrived in great condition. It was, you know, they shipped it right after I bought them. I was a little worried that I would miss that, you know, Cad Bane would sell out or something by the time I got him, but it's nice. And I also said on the pod, not to, you know, scoop the podcast that we recorded, but since I also just got the other Ahsoka wave with the, you know, Morgan Elsbeth and the HK87, it's just been a lot. I think that one shipped like less than 3 weeks ago, but I'm not complaining, but you know, it's a lot all at once.
It is a lot all at once. It really is. But yeah, I think we were talking about that wave last night as well. And I'm going to show some other things. Before I lose half the audience, they're showing these things. I do want to emphasize that I do have some TVC to show right after. But yeah, so I did get some stuff this week. And I've said it before. I've massively like cut back on here the big boxes are here on the Black Series, like massively, just because it's expensive and I'm not like too thrilled with a lot of the offerings these days. But I still try and get some of them. So for this week, these three guys came in. So I did get Previsla. He came in just today. And he looks cool. I don't really love that they use that older Mandalorian body, the Jango Fett body. But it looks nice. He's got the dark saber. He's got, his helmet, and I think the head looks in particular looks really nice on him. But yeah, and then I did get Hera. She came in this week as well.
Nice.
And yeah, she looks pretty good too. She looks nice.
Awesome.
And then finally, you'll like this one. I got Huyang.
Huyang, yes. Amazing. That's one I did. I picked him up. I saw that wave in the store on Halloween at a Walmart, and I had to have a happy Huyang Halloween, so I picked him up, and then I waited for those guys to ship from Pulse, and I think they're about to ship them. Where were these guys? Where were these ones from?
These are from Amazon.
Okay.
I rarely go to stores. Yeah.
There's only one Walmart up here, and it's hard to get to it. So it rarely pays off, but every once in a while. Like I found all the retro, or between me and a friend, we found all the retro Ahsoka wave out here, which was nice in stores before anybody shipped it, I think. I'm sure Amazon might have, but so that was fun. I still need an opener of Sabine, but she's on order. And then
cool.
Some people getting rid of their Black Series, and Evan said, and
I see that.
Interesting.
Very nice.
And a lot of heavy hitters, and it's also interesting that so many of the same characters are in both scales at the same time, which we like. We always say balance the scales just to make sure that. I personally want any Black Series figure. I think should also be in 3.75 inch in some form or fashion. It's ideally vintage collection, but an older one is sometimes okay.
Not in retro collection.
Yeah, well, I was starting to say that, and then I'm like, well, Merrick, I do want Merrick in vintage collection after just talking poorly of him for a while, but Merrick, I'm sorry. Please come to vintage collection. I'm sorry.
Please don't explode on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do have some TVC, and this is the wave we were kind of talking about last night because this is the latest wave that I've gone anyway. But for me so far, and I don't have the wave that you have, so I can't speak for that yet. But as far as this wave goes, like the latest, the Ahsoka wave, I feel like is like the best wave so far this year. I know a lot of people are like talking crap about Morgan Elsbeth, but I think she looks amazing. She looks incredible.
An accessory would have been nice, but she is an amazing figure.
Yeah,
the sculpt, just the sculpt.
Yeah, the sculpt
it's incredible.
It's fabulous. Like, I do wish she had some electricity or the sword of Talzin or something. But yeah, I mean it's just solid. Even like these guys, the HK droids, like they're really cool too.
Yeah. I need every color variant now, please.
I know. We need more than just red.
Yeah.
What else is in this wave? So we have Ahsoka, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And she's cool. She's more orangey than she was before. So if you like variants, she's definitely worth securing as well.
She got a sunburn or something.
Yeah. Luke is in the wave, so this is the repack. So I haven't opened it yet, so here's the older one. But yeah, it's basically the same guy, same Luke without the Grogu and all the frogs. Thrawn is in the wave. Thrawn also looks pretty awesome. Basically, it's just the Black Series figure scaled down.
Yeah.
But he looks good. He looks really good.
Still want a Lars Mikkelsen version, but it's still awesome to have him.
Yeah, for sure. And then probably my favorite in the wave, I would say, is the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
He is good.
Yeah, he's great.
He's
need
good.
some more Inquisitors. Need the. I was
Yeah,
gonna
we
list
need
them all.
more.
We just need all the other Inquisitors. Every number, every brother and sister, all of them. But this guy's great.
Yeah, we need more of those for sure. Nice.
And it's nice to see with him and Thrawn, yeah, they both came, from, well, Thrawn's not from Rebels, but they kind of go along with all the Rebels love, both, coming back to Ahsoka and with the Ghost Haslab and everything. So it's nice to be able to have them to share with, in some form or fashion, finally in Vintage Collection. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Both that wave and the new wave I just got, I think probably they're both fantastic waves. Just great characters, great choices top to bottom, I think.
Yeah,
So.
no, they are. I'd love to get I'd love to have all those Inquisitors. I mean, yeah, that kind of stings. I mean, I don't see it happening anytime soon, but it does kind of sting. Like, they were all in Black Series, and
yeah,
they're not in TVC.
Somebody posted a picture with like 6 of the Inquisitors in Black Series, and it's like, damn, that looks awesome. And we only have 2. Grand Inquisitor and Reva.
Then add Marok to that, and
yeah.
Oh well. Oh yeah, and they did one from Fallen Order, didn't they also?
Yeah, the second sister.
Second sister, that's what it was, yeah.
Carlo from SWTVC loves. Got a shout out the second sister, Trilla. But yeah, at least Vintage Collection has a Cal from Jedi Survivor, so maybe they'll go back and do. I don't know how much they can reuse Reva parts to do Trilla. I think all their costumes are actually pretty unique, but maybe. I don't know. Black Series is doing Inquisitor Cal, and it's like, could we get Vintage Collection can't even get the actual Inquisitors, and they're getting like alternate universe versions of the hero as an Inquisitor. But whatever.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Well, so those are all my acquisitions for this week. I didn't have anything else come in. That's basically it. Did you have anything else?
Like I mentioned, Life Day Chewie, I love them. Yeah, the retro. I still got to open the retro. I've been on a great kick of getting some of the Disney Parks droids that were a little bit rare, and now they're showing up. The Star Cruiser droids showed up in Florida, and then the Mickey Mouse chopper showed up in California from like a year or 2 ago. I had written some of these, and then the First Order evacuation pod vehicle, which I think there's one on one of my shelves somewhere, but it was a ship that had 4 variant droids, and then I was able to get the rest of them from Disneyland. Just had a random sale for like employees and friends of employees, and a friend let me in, and I was able to get the other 3. So again, some of these droids that Evan was a big help in getting many of these. So thank you, Evan, as always. But still need the first Pride droid. I think that's the only Disney Parks droid that I'm missing now, because it sold out in about 1 minute. And some of these are on shelves. Yeah, some of these are on shelves for months on end, and then some of them like they go in a flash, and it's like,
it's weird.
Never know. Yeah.
So you bought the variants of the whole, like, the vehicle, the First Order escape, like, pod vehicle?
Yeah, that's how nuts I am.
That is pretty nuts. I know. I mean, I know I'm nuts, but that's pretty nuts.
I'm not even gonna pick them out of the bag. There's 2 of them in here. You can see them. You can see them there.
Oh yeah. I got that one a couple of years back. It went on Shop Disney, and I remember ordering it, and I still haven't opened it, so I just don't have anywhere to put it. But I think I got the black and the orange droid is the one that I received.
Yeah, that was the first one that I got, and then, to be fair, these new ones were on half price, so buying them all at $75 was probably not going to happen. But I was glad to get them for half that.
You can build your own Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. Now I just need the AT-ATs and the hangar bays and
Vintage Collection. General Hux doesn't exist.
Yes. When I was there a few weeks ago, I went the weekend of Halloween, and the Hux and Kylo animatronics weren't working, so they were like talking very angrily about having to capture the Resistance sympathizers, and they were just like standing there still. It was kind of funny,
God.
But that ride breaks down all the time because they're always, something like that's always happening. But
I'd love to have like more like figures, like TVC figures, like they did with the Black Series for Galaxy's Edge. Like, they did several figures. I'd love to have like a TVC set that has all those characters.
Definitely.
That'd be awesome.
And yeah, because I think Chewie, I can't remember if he's occasionally Shop Disney will get some TVC exclusives. They do a lot of Black Series stuff, but yeah, I'd love to see more. I want the other colors of Poe's X-Wing. This is a whole rabbit hole we can go down, but yeah, there's a lot of like cool pilots and characters and ships from Galaxy's Edge that I'd love to see in Vintage Collection.
Droids, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Still need
thankfully Disney's making they're making some of these droid packs with those droids, which is awesome. But it just kills me how their droids don't have the wires on the feet.
Yeah, they did originally when they had them, and then I guess it was too confusing. People would mix up the parts, and the right legs would run out first because kids couldn't tell the difference or whatever. So yeah, now they get rid of the wires, but
they have no excuse now.
That's a bummer. Yeah, that's true. And I'd love to see Rex. That's the DJ Rex. They made the original pilot Rex in Star Tours years ago, but in Black Series has the DJ version. But one day we'll do a deep dive at some point.
Like a Galaxy's Edge playset. That's the next Haslab Galaxy. No, that'll never happen. But that would be really cool. I would buy it for sure.
I do have
Where's my Outpost?
Yeah, I kind of have. I think I'm backwards here, but I have kind of the Stormtroopers set up like they are in the ride, and then I have one of my little R5 droids right here by the TIE Fighter.
Nice.
Love that scene in Rise of the Resistance where you walk out, see hundreds of Stormtroopers,
I know,
TIE Fighters and stuff.
It is super cool. Yeah. And then I have a whole like Star Tours like shelf with like the Star Speeder 1000 or whichever one it is, the orange one, and then a bunch of the droids and the like when they did Star Tours 2.0 or the Adventures Continue. They released all those packs with like the figures with the orange and the blue like coloring, and those are awesome.
I love that stuff. When they had the one with the Rees with the camera with 3 eyes. I love that kind of stuff. You'll see on my last figure standing, I love some of the weirdness. I always push for it when our March Madness tournaments as well. But
nice. Well, cool. Speaking of last figure standing, so basically, if anybody doesn't know what this is something that was put together by a few different outlets, our friends in the community. I think primarily it was Bantha Skull, Bosk's Bounty, the SW, the Vintage Collection Facebook group, and Yak Face, and it's pretty cool. So I mean, I love when the community like does this stuff, and when they promote stuff and they come together to do things to hopefully try and like say, hey Hasbro, this is what the fans want, like you guys do with March Madness. Like I know it's a ton of work, right? Like a ton of work to do these kinds of things, but the kind of data that you can like extrapolate from it is very valuable.
Yeah, for sure.
So basically that's what this is. You select your top 10, and today's the last day. If anybody wants to do it, go to banthaskull.com. Today's the last day to do it.
I think there's about 55 minutes left, so
there you go. But wait till our show's over.
Quick.
And so it's just banthaskull.com, and you can do the Google Forms through their site, and you select your top 10 figures that you want from in the vintage collection, and then later there will be rounds where we'll be able to vote on some of the more like demanded figures, and then all the way until it's the last figure standing. So kind of a cool thing. So I think one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight is our personal lists. You sent me your list a little while ago. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know. I have no idea what's on it. I did post mine on Instagram, so I'm sure people have seen it already. But yeah, we're going to talk about our lists. So I guess, do you want to start with yours, or should we start with mine?
We can go with yours if you like. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. I guess
people less time to get mad at mine. Yeah.
All right, so this is my list for last figure standing. These are the 10 figures that I want in the vintage collection. Not the only 10, but if I could just say, hey, the vintage collection is ending after 10 more figures, these would probably be the ones. So I'll just go through my list. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, Tonica Sisters, like, obviously been banging the drum for those for a little bit. And, time for Tonica and all that. And, there's no legal, like, hurdles at this point for them to do them. It's totally possible for them to do it. If Hasbro / Disney, and Lucasfilm wanted to make it happen. It could happen tomorrow. Like there's really nothing like preventing it from happening. It's just it hasn't happened yet. So yeah, I mean, we finally need those. I mean, they're some of the most prominent Cantina aliens characters that we see in that scene that haven't been made into figures. So definitely want those. And if they do another Haslab, make it the Cantina, throw in the Tonikas, and we'll be set. We'll be very set.
Yeah.
After that, so Ahsoka is fresh in my mind. Balin Skull, where is he? It's just like it kind of throws me for a loop sometimes. Some of these characters are so prominent in these series, and they lack action figures, no announcements, nothing. Balin is one of them. He absolutely needs a figure. Very well received character. And in the show, and then same with Shin Hati. So she's my third choice. I definitely want to see those two to kind of round out my core like Ahsoka collection. Other than like Ezra, but he's not on my top 10 because I'm sure they'll do him at some point in some variation. So yeah, those ones. And then I have Asajj Ventress because they've done Asajj in 3 3/4. It's been forever. Those figures were pretty lousy by today's standards. At the time they were decent, like the one that they did back in 2003 for the Tartakovsky Clone Wars. That one was a really good figure at the time. And I still enjoy it quite a bit, but they haven't done a proper Clone Wars, 2008 version. They did one in Black Series. She's beautiful. And, I want them to shrink that down to TVC, and that'd be perfect.
And people keep pointing out because Morgan Elsbeth, her legs and her arms, at least her forearms, could definitely be reused for Ventress because she's got the Night Sister wrappings. So maybe that makes it a little easier for them.
Yeah.
They love their reuse, but
yeah, you would think so. After that, I have Anakin because we talked about this last night. The last like brand new 100% Anakin sculpt that's considered definitive was made in 2005, almost as long as Revenge of the Sith has been out, which is nuts. Every one that they've subsequently released, the one they did in 2008 for the 30th anniversary collection, the one that they did in the vintage collection, those have all been based on that figure with small tweaks. Even the Attack of the Clones one that barely came out again last year was based on that older sculpt. So it's definitely time that they do a from the ground up version. In the last episode of the Vintage Collection podcast, I talked to Tim from Bosk's Bounty, and we're talking about figures we want from Ahsoka, and I said, hey, Anakin, do him as a deluxe figure, include the version with the Sith eyes, and then a normal head, his cloak, red lightsaber, blue lightsaber, hilts. And, that would be something they could easily turn around and then offer on a single card, either for Ahsoka or Revenge of the Sith. I still want them to do that. So yeah, Anakin is sorely overdue. And I think we all think about all the time about Luke and Han and Ben, and those are important, but I mean, Anakin too hasn't had an all new figure since almost as old as some of those VOTC figures, really. So
he is the chosen one. We need a new version.
Yeah, we do. Kira is my next pick. This is one that I wanted for a long time, and we got a little smattering of figures from Solo, and we got Han Solo, we got Lando. We're missing Kira. Like you can't really have like those two figures without Kira. So of course I'd love to see them do other ones like Dryden Voss and Tobias Beckett, but Kira is kind of like the one I feel like they really need to bring out, and she would be stunning. I'm telling you, she would be stunning in the vintage collection. So it's high time. After that, we get into some of the typicals, not surprising really, but Luke A New Hope, for obvious reasons. He hasn't had a definitive figure ever. None of the ones that have been made are nearly satisfactory. Even at the times they were released, they were not satisfactory. I remember during the VOTC days, people saw that Luke with the shirt that would come off and the buck teeth, and they were like why? There has not been a great Luke figure in this outfit. Same with Han. Like we have that really skinny version from VOTC 2004, and none of the ones that have been made since then have been that much better. And Ben Kenobi, same thing. We had one in the Legacy collection, and it's a decent figure. I don't mind it so much. It's probably the best of these three characters, but it's still not like it's not vintage collection quality by any means, and you know, could do with an improved likeness and everything. And then finally, Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith, because, you know, if you're going to do a new Anakin, and, you know, with that anniversary coming up for Revenge of the Sith, we also need to have Obi-Wan Kenobi to go along with him. So, yeah, these are my top 10. There's several that were really hard to not put on the list. But, you know, right now in this moment in time, I'm sure it'll change in, you know, next month, next year, you know, it always changes. But as of right now, these are the ones that I would like to see done. So I don't know if any of them will be the last figure standing. Who knows? But we'll see.
Yeah, great choices. When we did the March Madness last year, we take submissions in January, so we will be asking everybody double up. If you had 15 figures you couldn't quite fit in your top 10, we need your top 25s in a couple months. But yeah, Luke, I think Leia wasn't A New Hope. Leia was the number 1 submission, and Luke was very, very close at number 2. I think there was only a couple of points separating them. So I have a feeling Luke will do well in this as well. And I remember I showed Evan a couple years ago, there was the 2009 like Resurgence of the Jedi battle pack, which had like the legs from the 2004 Luke. It was like a kit bash, and I always thought, it's like, it's okay, and it's similar to the 2011 vintage collection Luke. And he saw that and he was like, yeah, no, that's not it. That's really bad. That terrible figure. So, you know, could use some updates. And for Ben Kenobi, I think I really liked the Force Link one in terms of the face sculpt anyway. Obviously the articulation, the T crotch articulation on his robes was not very aesthetically pleasing, but it just shows what they could do with an actual new Ben Kenobi sculpt.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be awesome.
All right, let's pull up your list and see what's on it.
All right, pick it apart.
I say it very mischievously. Let's pull up your list, see what's on it.
There's some overlap, a little bit of overlap. Oh, what's that?
What is that? It's a good question. I don't know what that is. I've never seen it before. Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go.
Anyway. All right, there we go.
Cool coat.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, tell us what's on your I'm laughing at what I'm seeing for a couple of, but yeah, tell us what's on your list.
So there's a couple of crossovers. If you've heard my top 25 list for March Madness the past couple of years has largely been the same. They've actually made a surprising amount of them, but my top like 10 have kind of been the same for a while. But this time I decided to mix things up. Some got bumped up, some got bumped down. So new characters in there as well. But we got Balin and Shin again from Ahsoka, as you said. Prominent, awesome, action-packed figures. It's really too bad that they haven't. I hope it's a matter of time. I don't want to wait years for them. The sculpts exist in Black Series. They could do better in Vintage Collection. Don't make them the same height, first of all. But yeah, they'd be awesome. And then I have 3 members of the Bad Batch. I was thinking I used to have just Crosshair on my list, but I decided let's at least round out the original Bad Batch before they got Echo, before they got Omega, though I love those guys as well. But when they said you were making Hunter, people have asked, okay, where's the rest of them? Hunter's a great figure. He's an awesome character. We would like the rest of these guys. It's very, whether you like the show or not, they're very toyetic characters. They would make great action figures at the very least. I think we can all agree on that. And it kind of seems like the brand team has kind of skirted around it, saying, I don't know, maybe we'll do them, maybe we won't. I don't know. There seems to be no commitment from them. So I just wanted to show a little more support and say I do want them to keep going with those guys. And then seeing recently how Walmart has season 2 versions of every single character, because they invested in the season 1 versions, and they were able to just do minor retools and repaints for the season 2 versions and the Imperial version of Crosshair. Let's keep going on those guys, and RIP Tech, bless up. But and then second, the only original trilogy guy here is Sim Alu, but the Imperial Dignitary, the only figure who has not been updated at all from the original Kinner 96, and we got a hashtag finish 96. It'd be great to see all the other more prominent characters that have been updated over the years, but not in Vintage Collection
Yeah.
or not fully modern standards. But Simalu, as obscure and random and uninteresting as he actually is, he is important to the history of the line. And, the Vintage Collection celebrates the Kinner heritage in that way. So I think it's important to get him in the line. And then Luthen Rail, who I loved from Andor, his scenes were so great. He was so important in bringing Andor into the rebellion. Stellan Skarsgård just played him brilliantly. I loved all the monologues. He had some great action scenes too. I would prefer his earlier version from the Ferrix arc, kind of the green trench coat, so he can go with the Cassian that we have. And I guess he didn't really interact with B2 EMO that much, but I'd like to see that version. I think that version also interacts with Velsartha. She might have her. So he works with a couple of the Andor. He brings the Andor figures together.
Yeah.
Just like he brings the Rebels together, but he's an awesome character. I know he's not the hottest seller in Black Series, but I still want him in Vintage, so bring him on. And then Pong Krell from Clone Wars. As you were saying with Hu Yang, and even characters like Pre Vizsla, these are characters that, Hasbro covered the first 3, maybe 3.5 seasons of Clone Wars really well, but then they kind of just didn't do as much. I guess maybe the animated line wasn't doing as well around season 4, 5, and 6. They've done a lot for 7, but so some of the middle seasons with a lot of great scenes and great episodes like the Darkness on Umbara arc, I really love those episodes, and I wish they had figure support. So like I said, it's incredible that we finally got, Bo-Katan. Now she's a main character. Finally got Hu Yang. Now he's a main character of one of the shows. Finally got Pre Vizsla. And so Pong Krell is next up on that list, in my opinion. Could have had him for the 20th of overall Clone Wars, maybe for the 20th of the actual 3D animated series. We'll see. And then we got Peli Motto, as seen in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. And I'm wearing a Motto's shirt today to celebrate.
Nice.
But, once she was a little bit lower on my lists previously, but now that, some of these, when we get a new purchase, other things become super relevant and important now. And so with the amazing N1 that we just got a few months ago, and, it could use some repairs. It could use some upgrades every now and then. We got R5D4 to go with it, but we need R5D4's boss. We need Peli Motto in the line.
Yeah.
She's just such a fun comic relief character. I love Amy Sedaris. She's great in all the shows, and she and Carson Teva, they're single-handedly holding the Mandoverse together at this point.
Right.
But and then this guy last year, he was number 25 on my top 25, but I had to bump him up to the top 10 after it's Life Day. How could you not get in the spirit? It's Life Day. I had to get him on there. We just got his dad in his Life Day robes, so I know very little chance this will happen, but I would love to see it. It will really, Chewie really brings a smile to my face, and holiday special. It's campy. It's ridiculous. It's not for everybody. It can be a slog to get through those 30 minutes of dialogue with no English language, no actual human language. All Wookiee speak, Shurwook. But I was thinking, what if they could actually maybe somehow use an Ewok body to get, add some longer fur on the arms and legs, or hands and knees and hands and feet, and a new head, and get Lumpy out. Disney Parks, if you want another Wookiee next year, just saying, you could do that. Maybe you don't want to do that, but they definitely could.
That's a novel approach. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah. Or, some people have said maybe if they do Gunji from Clone Wars and Bad Batch, another great season 5 Clone Wars character, then they can do a Lumpy based on that. But I don't know if Lumpy might be a little bit shorter than Gunji or something. But yeah, so there was a lot of, I didn't even submit my list until today. There was a lot of thinking about it for a while, but there it is. So
there it is.
Some wild stuff, but
that's a good list
for everybody.
It's a solid list.
Yes, I think so. The only overlap we have is Balin and Shin, I think.
Yeah.
But and your choices are all great as well. I would buy every single one of them. I would love to see it, all of them. But hopefully they do some of these before too long.
What if Lumpy ended up being the last figure standing?
That don't get my hopes up. Don't threaten me with a good time. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be something. Yeah, you're right. There's a holiday special. believe it or not, I've never been able to get through the entire holiday
Oh,
special. I've
really?
tried numerous times and I just can't do
Yeah.
it. Like I
It's a
get to a
fun.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to, I may need a little assistance of certain kind
Yeah.
to be able to get through that. But yeah,
I think
it's
I've watched it under assistance, let's say, back in the day, and but if you watch it with a friend or two, it's fun to kind of laugh at it and some of the cheeseball 70s comedy and stuff, and the
yeah.
same actor playing three different roles, and but in some ways it's fun to see the Cantina characters, in a literally in a new light, and in the bad TV lighting instead of the cool movie lighting. But yeah,
Yep.
I could go on about the holiday special. Evan and I did an episode. We shared it again last year of our podcast where we talked about it for a long time. So I won't take up any more of your time about the holiday special, other than to say happy Life Day and let's get lumpy in the line.
Have you seen there was like a Richard Pryor skit in the 70s where he's like in
Yeah,
the, yeah, that's
Star
cool too.
Bar. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very similar because it's like some of these masks that you only see for a split second in A New Hope. You can really sit and study them. I mean, not the video quality is not that great, but it's really interesting to see them without the way they use the lighting and like the editing and stuff moving in front of them. They look like real characters in A New Hope, and then you realize they're just lifeless masks
I know.
on Richard Pryor show or on the holiday special. But it's one of those fun little looks behind the curtain.
Yeah, for sure. If anybody hasn't seen that
Yeah.
skit, it's hilarious. Go check it out. It's on
Yeah.
YouTube. You can find it. Just look up Richard Pryor Star Wars Cantina and it'll come up. Yeah, and a solid list. I'm curious to see what happens with this and see, what ends up,
Yeah.
taking the top spot at the end of the day. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be fun from now until till that point. So like we were saying, if you want to get your list
sure.
in, go to Bantha School. You only have a little bit of time left, I think, to do it now. So
If you need to edit your list to add lumpy, that's still on the table for the next half hour.
you
but
can, in fact, edit your list. If you want to put the Tonikas on there, you can do that. If you want to
yes,
put
yes.
Simalu on there, you can do that. If you want to put whomever, you may go and edit. You can put Akmina on there too. Because why not?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yes, I would buy her too, for sure.
A 3-pack of the Tonikas and Akmina. That would be amazing. Cantina. The night shift.
The night shift. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Are there any other topics, John, that we've missed or anything else that we want to highlight?
I think we've covered a lot. Yeah, I'm excited for everybody to check out our Revenge of the Sith episode when that comes out. That was a fun time with you and Tyler last night. At first I was thinking like, oh, I don't have that many. My top 10 doesn't have. I love Revenge of the Sith. It's my favorite Star Wars movie, and I just think there's a million items. My wish list is a mile long. Every movie, every show. I could go on for days with requests, but yeah, and so I did on that episode. So listen to that when that comes out.
Yeah, listen to that when that comes out, and that'll be out hopefully next Monday is the plan. That is episode 23, and it's Revenge of the Sith anniversary planning. So stay tuned for that.
Sweet.
Well, very cool, John. It's been a lot of fun, and
Yes,
thanks hugely to everybody that's been tuning in with us and that's survived this entire hour and 10 minutes. We appreciate you for hanging in there. Fun as always. And just in case, I'm sure everybody knows, but just in case, where is the best place for them to go to follow you on the internet?
Got a couple of Instagram pages going on. At the Vintage Concepts, as you can see, that's my personal one where I do the card concepts of figures that I would like to see in the vintage collection. And you can follow me and the team at SWTVC on Instagram, and from there you can find YouTube and podcasts and all that fun stuff. And then, like I said, if you had trouble getting your top 10 list together, we want your top 25 list when we start March Madness in a couple months. So get ready for that if you're not already exhausted from all this fun. So yeah, even as we get dozens of figures, this last month, if there's more you still want, just start thinking about that. So yeah, there you go.
Nice. Awesome. Well, cool. It's been a blast, John. Thanks again for coming on the show once again. I think the last time we did this
Thanks for having me.
was it like last year? I don't even remember when it was.
I think it was, shortly before Dominion came out. I remember talking about that a bit.
Yeah, so well over a year.
Yeah, so
Well,
thanks for having me on
awesome.
again. It was fun.
Yeah, no, thank you. And thanks again to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. Until next time, no matter where you're tuning in out in the galaxy, thank you for tuning in to Cantina Social Hour. We will be off next week because of the holiday, but we will be back the following week. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, hope to catch you on the channel. We'll have a video coming out next week, and then we'll have the TVC podcast. So be well, be safe, and may the force be with you. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks. Happy Life Day.